All right, I would like to introduce to you the project that we will be working on. At this point, you should have finished this Designer Babies questionnaire. There are some controversial kind of questions on here, but you guys all read this at the top that says there are no right or wrong answers. The reason that I presented this to you is I was attempting to try and have your minds kind of expand a little bit and look at some questions because that's exactly what you are going to be doing. You are going to be picking a side and researching that side to kind of create a pamphlet and argue your thoughts. This is the formal assignment page. This is listed in Google Classroom for you guys as well. But basically, we have many advancements in the field of biotech, and that's allowed scientists to do things like insert genes into food sources so that DNA produces new proteins that lead to new characteristics in the plants or organisms. By inserting a gene into a particular plant or organism, the resulting protein can make that plant resistant to insects or resistant to particular herbicides. It may even allow an individual to be resistant to certain viruses. This also can have the potential to allow farmers to yield larger crops and basically improve upon the quality of products. Many of the things that we buy at the grocery store, including corn, beets, canola, and soy, are probably genetically modified. But we have no way of knowing this unless the manufacturer chooses a label. There are opponents, and there are people who are also for GMOs. I've mentioned in class how the red delicious apple used to be called the Hawkeye apple, and that is just an example of a genetically modified over time species of apple that has improved to a larger size and a greater crisp. But basically, what is your task on this assignment? You are going to design either a digital pamphlet. You may use any materials or resources if you want to go into Google and use Designer. If you want to go into Word and create a kind of pamphlet in there. If you want to go into Pages and do the exact same thing, that's up to you. You could even make a Padlet, which would allow for a kind of digital pamphlet to exist. You may make an advertisement or commercial, but regardless of what type of tool it is that you use, and you are working individually on this, you are going to decide if you are in support or in opposition to GMOs regarding food or even organisms. And the important key here is that this is based on scientific evidence. You're going to have 2 days for research. You have today and tomorrow, and then really you'll have Wednesday to create the digital pamphlet. You're going to share it out in class on Thursday, and you're not going to physically share it out. At the bottom of your Google Classroom, you'll notice I've created a Padlet for you all. For instance, I have in hour 7, I have this assignment listed under classwork. I give you a link directly to the Padlet, which is where you will actually share out your project. The projects, remember, they are going to be uploaded onto here. And the way that you actually do that is you look for the little plus button at the bottom left corner. I needed to extend this image really quickly. It's actually at the bottom right. It's this plus button. And what you do is you click that plus button, and what you can actually do is it will give you this opportunity to upload. So if I had created a file, I can throw that on there. I can make a link. So if I had a YouTube clip or a Padlet, I could drop it in there. And then there's a couple of other tools that you can kind of use to make sure that goes on there. This needs to be uploaded. Your pamphlet, your commercial, whatever it is that you make needs to be uploaded by Thursday morning. Once it's uploaded on Thursday, that's how we're sharing it out in class. Students are going to be able to look at your pamphlets, and particularly you will be able to look at people who have the like-minded ideas with you, and you're also going to look at individuals who have opposing ideas to you. You can see here at the bottom, this is kind of how things are laid out for you all. It's 20 points total. It's an assessment grade. And you're going to kind of be divvied up by this. First off, I want you to write in your own words, what is the definition of a genetically modified organism or food? What are some advantages or disadvantages depending upon what your opinion is? Are you for or are you against? And you can pick food. You can pick the idea of designer babies. You can really kind of go either which way with those. It's kind of interesting to have both of those options there, but it makes it kind of a fun little research tool for you all. I want you then to make sure that you're showing evidence to support these. That means I want to see citations. If there's a website that you're getting your information from, after you use your information, in parentheses, throw in that link. Okay. The next one, what are the economic or money consequences? Is there a cost? The fourth one, I'm sorry, is who is benefited or harmed from this genetically modified organism or food? And then what are the common day impacts of genetically modified organisms or potential foods? And then you also do get 2 points just for neatness and effort. These are a couple of websites. Some of them are active. Some of the websites are no longer active. I still like this genetics.utah.edu website, but you can really Google search anything. I would suggest you stick to sites that are .org, or .edus. Those are typically the best ones to utilize. However, every once in a blue moon you will find some that are .coms. It's just you cannot always trust those websites. So once again, try and stick with those .edus or .coms. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Everything is very well written out for you guys. You get to decide now, are you for or against? And are you for or against foods? Or are you for or against designer babies? Make a choice and start your research now. Good luck.